Good morning, everyone. Boy, that sounds very stiff, doesn't it? Morning, Flosstube. That feels better. Jan Hicks of Jan Hicks Creates here. My mind is going in a million different directions, so I hope this video isn't too chopped up or scattered. It probably is going to be, so I'm just going to say forgive me right at the beginning. Also, forgive me for the humming that you probably can hear. I do have the air conditioner on today. It is 11:09 a.m. It is 77 degrees. It says mostly cloudy. The sun has been going in and out. We get a lot of sun radiating in to the apartment at this time of the day. Once it passes over noon and the sun is behind us, it's not too bad. But I'm going to be up here in the loft for a good chunk of the day recording a bunch of different things. I'll explain that in a minute. And so I put the AC on just to make it more comfortable for the long run. A little bit of an explanation about the pictures at the beginning. This weekend was fun. It's a good thing Mike and I like to laugh. Sunday morning, we didn't really do much Saturday except errands running around. Sunday morning, we did go to the farmer's market here in Mililani. We are determined to get to know the fruits and veggies of the islands, and the farmer's market was full of things that we just don't even know. I did get a definition from Elin. Thank you, Elin, on the names of the fruits in some of the pictures that I showed you. I didn't take any pictures of the veggies that I don't know. That'll be next. So we will start exploring some of the fruits and veggies, but that's our, this is our start, going to the farmer's market and seeing what's there, and we'll figure it out from there. Thank you, Elin. And hi, I know you'll watch this eventually. So yesterday evening, we thought we would end our weekend with a Sunday evening at the beach, take dinner, take a bottle of wine, chill out. I had my stitching with me, watch the sunset, and you can see that it started as a beautiful evening, and then you also saw pictures of that storm over to the west moving in. We thought, we got a little notification on our app, on our watch, rain starting soon. We thought, typical Hawaiian rain, it'll be a shower, it'll pass. There will be a rainbow, all will be good. The rain started and the wind started, and I think I haven't edited, obviously, and I actually didn't relook at what I took yesterday, but I'm pretty sure I took some video of us cowering in our little umbrella tent with the storm coming in. We thought we would brave it out. I looked at one of the weather apps, looked at the radar, and there were still some yellow cells along with the green that had yet to pass through. So we did pack up and leave. Mike got the Jeep and drove it up over the curb and over to where we had pitched our little umbrella. We have this beach umbrella thing that's like a kind of like a huge umbrella with a flat bottom, and you stake it down into the ground. So we got everything gathered up and came home and had our sandwiches and wine. Such is life. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed the photos. Let's see. So much to tell you. I didn't get a Stitch With Me done on Friday. The end of last week was rough. We found out Thursday afternoon evening, that the son of the cousin that Mike was closest to growing up died of an overdose. I don't know whether it was Wednesday night into Thursday morning, I think. He was 24 years old. So that hit hard, because of course you think of your own kids and think, there but for the grace of God go I. No parent should ever have to lose a child. I watched my own parents go through it. My brother died in a motorcycle accident when he was 27. So we will be going back to Phoenix for the funeral. I've told Mike that how important it is. You know, there's nothing you can do that will make that kind of loss any better, but how important it is. You know, a lot of people don't believe in funerals. They don't see the purpose of them. I believe very strongly that a funeral is a good thing. It not only allows family and friends to come and say goodbye, but it is a chance for the family to get together and show their support. You know, a funeral is for the survivors, and so that's what we're going for, to show the family our love and support. So on top of that, we woke up Friday morning. Mike went ahead into work, and I came and keep the litter box up here. No, I guess he came up to clean the litter box before he went, and we found multiple puddles of diarrhea and vomiting up here and throughout the apartment. And that meant Sasha. And that meant Sasha was having some kind of problem with his insulin, with his glucose level, with an infection, whatever. He was definitely a sick kitty. So we got him to the vet, got a shot of antibiotics. That means we don't have to actually give him oral antibiotics. Got some fluids into him, got all kinds of blood tests taken to make sure the glucose levels were fine, and all of that, all of his other blood work was fine. He's on the mend. He's still not 100%, but he's on the mend. So yeah, there was no videoing over the weekend, just because figuring out going back to Phoenix and all of that, what airline. Southwest is not the cheapest way to go, unfortunately, because they fly into California and then we have to get over to Phoenix. I mean, yeah. And then yesterday, while we were about to get dumped on at the beach park, we got a text from Mike's mother that both her and Dick were in the emergency room over at Mayo. She thought she was having a heart attack, so Dick drove her over there, and something happened that made him, I guess, made them check his hemoglobin again, and he's having another GI bleed episode. So they were both kept in the hospital there overnight. Anne was having a stress test today. Dick was having an endoscopy or a GI whatever, to see what they could see. Haven't heard anything yet on them, but they are both in the hospital. We fly over there Wednesday. We're staying through the weekend, so hopefully we will get them, hopefully they'll be home by the time we get back, or by the time we get there, but we will be staying through the weekend, so hopefully we'll get them sorted, we'll get the RV sorted, we will help them with whatever they need help with before we come back to Hawaii. So yeah, it was a weekend. Onward and upward then. Because we are going to be in Arizona, I want to try and get some videos done here to have things scheduled to go out for you guys over the week. So I'm doing my Flosstube today, I'm doing a Stitch With Me today, and my Stitch With Me is actually going to be a tutorial in part, because somebody asked, one of my commenters asked on my last Flosstube about what would be the best way for a beginning stitcher to transition into linen and even weave. So I'm going to talk a bit about that on my Stitch With Me. I'm going to show you the difference between even weave and linen and what to look for, and talk about, I guess, how you know when you're ready, which of course is totally going to be a personal thing, and how to make that transition. And I hope, it's been so long, I don't know whether what I have to say will help, but I think it will. I'm going to do the video of the flip throughs, and then there was also a question on the Heaven and Earth Designs Facebook group yesterday about Knit Companion, and whether it's useful for cross stitch. Now, most of you know I did do a video on that, and I pointed the questioner to that video, but she had a follow-up question about the specifics of marking the different symbols when you're doing, setting it up your chart, and then how to mark them when you've actually made those stitches. So I'm going to do a short video just getting real specific on the steps I use to go through that process. So I hope to get that all done today, and I will have those all scheduled through the week. What else did I want to tell you? I don't remember, but on to stitching. I have a finish. I did pretty much stick to my guns yesterday and a good chunk of Saturday, and worked on Grateful Hearts and got it done. So thrilled with it, but it is far, far from perfect. But that's okay, because looking at it, you would not know that. So, but we are going to talk about it, because I think this can be a learning session for me and what I did wrong, and you going forward. So I noted in my Instagram post that these were kind of sort of the called for colors, and I didn't actually look to see. I might have actually used some of the called for. No, I actually didn't. The same colors, just different colors, right? Still all, they're still all gentle arts or weeks, but they're not the called for. So, first and foremost, if you look at the red that they used, it is much more solid, I guess, than it is tonal or variegated. There is not as much change in the color red as what I used. Their red is Lancaster red from Weeks. I used cranberry from Gast. Now you can see, especially in the heart, well, in all of them, the change in the colors of red within the skein. So why that matters is, in this section, I don't know whether you can see it as well on camera, but there are little Smyrna crosses scattered all through the red background on here. If I had really thought about it, and I started this so many years ago, who knows, but if I had really thought about it, I would have chosen a more solid red, because when you get into even this much variegation, the Smyrna crosses, I mean, you can see them scattered here and there in the lighter sections, but for the most part, you can't really see them. And I will have better pictures. Like I always say, I don't like how this doesn't focus as well as I would like on the iPad. So I will have better pictures of this on my website with the in the show notes post. But yeah, so that's one lesson. If you have little scattered stitches like this, you really want more of a solid color. And it works the same in knitting. If you're using a variegated yarn, you don't want to be doing any of the specialty stitches, whether it's lace work, whether it's seed stitch, whether it's cables. The variegation breaks up the pattern so much that you can't see the beauty in the stitch pattern. The variegated colors are for solid stockinette, although you will get some kind of striping or something, or garter stitch. Anyway, so that's one lesson learned. The other one isn't really a lesson learned, but it's more of a how to fudge when you need to. So my most beloved block of 1/1 is missing 2 rows. I don't know where it happened. I don't know when it happened. It happened. And when I noticed it was, so I had like pretty much all of the border done, and I had started down here on the red, and I decided to go ahead and do the hearts so that I would just have to fill in the red background. Sounds like an awesome plan, right? And it is an awesome plan. But there is supposed to be 2 rows, again, I don't know how much you can see it, 2 rows of the red above the top of this heart. When I got it, the heart all done, I went and looked back and went, huh, that's butted right up against those brown rows. Well, bummer. I wasn't about to take it all out, right? Fudge City. So I figured, all right, we'll just go with it and we'll fudge whenever we need to fudge. So the place I most needed to fudge is this, the top border. So you can see the bottom border and the top border are these kind of mixture of satin stitches and Algerian eyelets. Now I'll say also, I don't like this kind of, I don't know, scattered look. When I had done the bottom, and when I had first done it, I did it so that there was the Smyrna cross evenly spaced across, and then the satin stitches surrounding them. And that was fine. So this motif takes 12 rows. Because I had lost 2 rows here, and it has to line up with the top of this, but because I had lost 2 rows here, I only had 10 rows to work with. And if I had done the full thing, it would have come up above this block, and that's something that I couldn't live with. So I just totally redid the whole motif. On this one at the top, I did satin stitches up and down and sideways going across. And then I took this one out at the bottom, and I started by taking out, you can kind of see where the satin stitches were there, how the fabric's a little bit messed up with. I took out the satin stitches first and left the eyelets, and I decided I really liked the eyelets marching across there, especially because they echo the eyelets that are scattered around this heart. And so I wanted to keep those to have that echo and that flow through the design. So I just went back and put back in the satin stitches going up and down across the bottom. So from far away, it matches the top in that there's 2 rows of kind of blockish looking squares, checkerboardish. But you can see closer up that it is the Algerian eyelets. So the only thing I have left to do is iron this and put the hearts on. The hearts that they use, that probably came in some kind of little package way back when, are silver. I couldn't find any silver ones, but I did find these bronze ones. So that's what I'll be using. This fat one will go down in this blue block. The long one goes hanging off of here, and then one of these little ones go in the corner right up here. So they're a little bit darker than maybe what the pattern calls for, but heck, nothing else in the pattern is like and this finished piece is like the pattern, so whatever. All right, so I also worked on sea glass for a little bit. I am up here in this corner. So a lot of these colors are pretty dark. You can't really see much of a change. They're like right next to each other in the DMC list. So they're very similar. But again, in real life you can see, and again, in real life you really can't see a whole lot of change either. It's subtle, but you know, it's gorgeous. So this piece, yeah, I am doing it over 1, right, on 28 count. It's going to be small. I love it. You can see the fabric itself is pretty small, and I have an 1.5 inch margin. So this is going to be like some really dense stitching. Sea Glass, Carolyn Manning Designs. Gosh. But the one I'm really in love with this week, Carolyn, I might have done some monogamous stitching this week. Well, not really, because I've been working on Grateful Hearts for an hour every day. But otherwise, every stitch thrills me to no end. Just love this. Love it. Look at that. The black contrasting with those colors. And it's so much brighter than what you're seeing. Color's pretty true to color though. So this is the Tycho, I don't know how to pronounce it, fabric 32 count that I got from Teal. Stitching over 2 with 2 threads when it calls for it. So this pattern's very interesting. It has, like, this color here is the same, but this is, it's the same up here. This is that color with 2 strands over 2. This is that color with 1 strand over 2. And this is that color with a half stitch 1 strand over 2. So they really play with how many threads and whole crosses and half crosses to create some amazing texture through this piece. I am taking this with me to Arizona. I'm only taking this and, oh, I forgot to bring up the other piece. I knew there was something else I forgot. Shoot. I'm going to take the Lila's Studios summer seasons to work on 2, as well as my knitting project. I'm only going to be gone 4 days, but I have 3 things to work on. I know. So the seasons, the summer by Lila's Studio, that's on a 40 count, and I know the light in Ann and Dick's living room is not good enough for me to work on that. So I'll work on this in the evenings. I'll work on that when I get to during the day, the summer season, and I'll do my knitting in and off. I'll probably work on that on the flight over. I've been having some problems with my elbow now. I think it might be a buildup of a calcium deposit again that I've had in my shoulder before. So knitting kind of, getting old isn't for sissies. But anyways, Vitreous Art number 2. I got this on soandso.co.uk. I will be putting a link in my show notes. There are 2 others in this series that I will probably get at some point. Because there are so many half stitches, it goes pretty fast. I just love it. Just love it. Something just flew down onto my arm. I don't know. Alrighty. Other notes. Let me see. Oh shoot. The only phone calls that I ever answer are when they have a Hawaii, well, from my family, of course, and when they have a Hawaii area code, because those are probably ones. I get so much spam, I just don't answer the phone. But I see a phone call came in from an 808 number, the Hawaii area code, but it didn't come up on my watch. That's kind of annoying. Anyway, other notes. I jumped right in with all of my personal stuff and didn't even talk about any of my notes. I told you I was going to be scattered today. I didn't even change this over to my notes. Oh my God. I wonder if it even synced. It probably didn't even sync. All right. Oh, yes, it did. I'm just talking to myself, just to carry on stitching while I get my brain around me. Okay, first and foremost, I have not heard from Lee Singleton yet. She is the one who won the Christmas wish list from Silver Creek Samplers. Lee, I'm going to give you another week to get in touch with me. Now, if you have emailed me, okay, I commented on your comment and you haven't responded to that yet. I better check that just to be sure. But if you did email me right after, like in the 2 days after the Flosstube video where I announced the winner, I did not get it. Darling Mike did something to my webmail account that he thought he was just getting rid of the spam. I don't think it would consider, like, I didn't get any of my emails from the newsletter type things that I am signed up for. I don't think it would do anything to personal email coming in, but just in case, if you did email me in those like 2 days after the video, please email me again. I did not get it. If you see this and you have not emailed me yet, I'm giving you 1 more week. When I do my Flosstube next week, if I haven't heard from you, and of course if you're seeing this, then it kind of is silly for me to be saying this because you haven't seen it, or you have everybody else out there. If I don't hear from Lee by the time next week rolls around and I'm ready to do my Flosstube, I'll be finding it. I'll probably just go with everybody that's already on the list, and I'll be choosing another winner. So stay tuned. We shall see. Let's see. I did watch a new Flosstuber, Stephanie Watson. She is Stephanie Watson. That's her YouTube channel. She's a very young lady who, not young, I mean she's in her 20s, who started cross-stitching 4 years ago and has fell hard, and she has so many gorgeous finishes. Her first video is going through her tub of all of her finishes. She has not really fully finished anything, so I hope she will do that, but she gets more out of the process than the finished things, but I think eventually she'll realize she wants to have them around her. So Stephanie Watson, I will be linking her and all that. Annie Miller from Annie Miller's Annie's Crazy Cross Stitcher, what is it? Crazy Annie's Crazy Stitcher Facebook group. She announced on there yesterday that So Much to Love is teaming up with Michelle Palmer, the artist that does the punch needle that I love so much. She also, just sells her artwork too as notepads and things. So Much to Love is teaming up with her to convert her artwork into cross-stitch patterns. Crazy Annie has one of them listed so far. I can't tell you how thrilled I am at this. Michelle has so many gorgeous designs that will be just, oh my God, just stunning as cross-stitch. I can't wait. So that is like all the loves, all the exclamation points. I can't wait. Let's see. I think that might be all. I told you what I'm going to do with the other videos. So yeah, that's pretty good. Oh, wait, I'm not done. I do have a little bit of goodies to show you. One is actually, well, they're both gifts. The first one is very interesting. So right after I did the video talking about mybobbin.com and explaining how much I love the Russian aesthetic, how many Russian designers I just am head over heels with. I keep bumping the table that you're sitting on. I don't know how much you'll see that shake, sorry. Right after I extolled the virtues of Russian designers, basically, a Russian cross-stitcher reached out to me, and as I explained the problems I was having with my bobbin, she reached out to me and asked me if I wanted her to get anything for me, that she would be happy to buy something and pass it on to me, or buy something for me. And after a bit of discussion back and forth, I told her, I said, there is one designer on Instagram who I have looked for on the various, outlets, whether it's My Bobbin or Etsy, different shops on Etsy, and I cannot find her designs anywhere. She is a watercolor artist who converts her patterns into cross-stitch. Her name is Juliana Doe, and again, I will put her information down below. Her artwork is stunning, and so her cross-stitch patterns are stunning. So I asked this girl, Anna, if she would be able to hook me up with one of her patterns, and I listed several that I was interested in. And the one that I was most interested in is the one she got for me. It is called Actually, I don't know whether I know what it's called because it's in Russian, but it is ranunculus again, the ranunculus flower. Isn't that gorgeous? So pretty. And you know, the thing about these Russian designers, that of course it's a PDF, their PDFs contain the colored pattern, so that the colored chart, right? The chart in black and white, the colored chart with the colored backstitch lines on it, and the black and white chart with the black and white backstitch lines on it. So you get so much information in the PDF to make it easy to figure out, you know, where all that backstitching is going. And there is, again, just like in my elephant, there is a lot of backstitching, but that's part of what really makes this design just really pop. So that is one of the things from this week. And she actually gave it to me a while ago, sent it to me a while ago, and I just found it, I don't know, I didn't see the attachments or something in the email, and just found it when I was cleaning out my email like on Saturday. So I sent her a very apologetic note. Thank you, Anna. You know I'm going to love that, and it may very well be another new start. I know. The other thing I got was something that was another birthday present. Again, it came on a slow boat from, is it Maine, Linda? To Hawaii. It had a tour across the country. Linda Hoberg, Dear Stitches with Sophie on Instagram, made 2 project bags for me. And I have to admit, I didn't wait until I showed them to use them. They're gorgeous. Just absolutely gorgeous. Look at that. So this one holds green on green because the browns and the blues, right, are good for this one. And this one holds my family garden. Thank you, Linda. They are gorgeous. And she does have little zipper pulls. So there's a butterfly on this one. And little fish on this one. Thank you, Linda. I love them. And a pretty card. Look at the card. With glitter. So Mike comes home and looks at me and says, "You have glitter on your face. How did you get glitter on your face?" I don't know, because I forgot. Anyways, I think that's all. Too bad if it isn't. I hope you guys have a lovely week. I hope you find your joy. It's been a rough weekend, but you know, Mike and I still find our joy. We've certainly found our joy on the beach yesterday. You know, we enjoy each other so much. We laugh, we giggle, we don't mind things like that. Anyways, I love you guys. I will talk to you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.